Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I want to bring to you a new series, and that series is called Ask a Landscape Designer and Consultant. So I have thought about this for a little while, and then my friend Janey from Dig, Plant, Water, Repeat, we are doing a collaboration for her channel. She asked me a landscape designer question for a problem bed, and so through her suggestion, which thank you Janey, it just sort of got the wheels rolling again for me. And so I decided that it would be great. I get asked questions a lot from people around my area. I get questions on my YouTube channel. And so I wanted to open up the floor. I am by no means an expert. I've been doing this for a long time, but I still have so much to learn. And I learn so much from all of you guys. Your perspective may be different than my perspective. And so I think that's what's so neat about having this YouTube community. And so I want to start this series that I'm going to do weekly where you send me your questions. And I'm also going to give you my email address. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. It is kim@thesoutherndaisy.com. Easy, right? And so if you have pictures, if you would like to send me a video question, I would love that. And so in honor of Janey and her asking, me the question, I want to have her as my first guest and the first person to ask the question. I'm going to actually answer this question, and then so what I would love to have happen is you to send me questions and anything. So landscape design, landscape consultation, anything with planting, with design, with how to think through your process, to picking out the right plant, to thinking through your zone and how you can plant squash, or what do you do with the squash bugs, or that sort of thing. If I don't have the answer to it, I will find the answer to it, and we can learn together because your questions trigger me to do research, and I love that, right? So right now I am going to go ahead and get on with this first series, and Janey, go ahead with your question.
Hi Kim, Janey here from Dig, Plant, Water, Repeat. I am all the way over in Northern California, Zone 9B. I have a landscaping question for you. I have this garden bed right behind me. It is in a very prominent spot in my backyard, and I am having so much trouble trying to decide what to do with this bed. I don't know if it's just, such an important bed that I'm getting myself all worked up over it, or if it's because it's so asymmetrical that I'm having trouble trying to figure out what to plant. So I really appreciate you taking my landscaping question, and let me turn the camera around so I can show you the bed a little bit closer. Okay, so here is the garden bed that I'm talking about. Over here, I have some honeysuckle up along my trellises. I have a dogwood over here, and then I have a Wichita blue juniper right there. This is a west-facing fence, so it's about 5 o'clock right now here in California, and the sun is going down, and this bed gets about 5 to 6 hours of hot afternoon sun. So the plants obviously have to be able to handle that hot afternoon sun. I have an ostrich fern right here that in the dog days of summer, it just gets crispy and fried. So I know I need to take that out. Over here is a north-facing fence, so about 2 feet out for most of the spring and part of the summer, it's mostly shaded. So shaded over here and hot sun over here. So like I said, difficult garden bed. You can see it's kind of a triangle shape along the swoop of my lawn, and it's an asymmetrical triangle, right? I don't know whether I should put something right there. I have this patio furniture that I'm not partial to. It's really old and I don't even want to sit on it really. So I don't know if I should put something there or line something up along the fence. I have no idea. So I would love to hear a landscape designer's point of view on this difficult garden bed that I have. So thank you so much, Kim, for taking my landscaping question, and I cannot wait to hear what you think about my challenging garden bed.
Hi, Janey. Thank you so much for asking me your question and for trusting me with giving you some suggestions and some ideas. Disclaimer to my suggestions, I am in Zone 7B, and so I don't know the plants for Zone 9B other than what I have looked at. And so the suggestions that I make today may not fit your area, but maybe you could find something similar. So I am actually at my favorite nursery, and I thought it would be really fun to take you around and show you some ideas that I had. And so what I want to bring up to you first is, let's think about your corner and how we can brighten it up. So the first point of interest that I want to talk about is the tree that you have growing behind your fence. And so that makes me sort of want to pause and think about planting, because your tree roots go out as wide as the canopy is for your tree. And so, you know, when you go and start planting on top of those tree roots, you take the risk of damaging it. And so my first thought was, how about a retaining wall? You would have your elevated bed, and that would provide a really cool interest as you walk out of your door and look across your pool into this corner. I was thinking, you know, that would be really cool to have a multi-level planting. And also it would elevate above the tree roots, so you're planting actually in the planter. So that's sort of what I had in mind. Now, when you go to start building a wall, you know, there's a chance you're also going to disturb those tree roots. So without being able to be there and see that in person, you know, that may not be a feasible idea. But if we went with that, I would think, you know, doing some multi-level plantings would be really nice. And it would take away from that long stretch of fence that you have that you want to break up. The second point of that is that, you know, we're going to have to, because your bed is unique. It's not unique to me because I am used to dealing with multi sunlight exposure beds. And so what I want to say to you is, let's play to that. There are several plants that you can sort of put outside its comfort zone and plant. And, you know, it may struggle a little bit at first, but then they acclimate to it. So something I was thinking about would be planting something that can tolerate both sun and shade. And so that's my idea for you. And so if we think about planting, we want to think about a retaining wall, maybe with even some uplights shining on that wall. And it doesn't have to be very tall. Matter of fact, I'm sitting on a wall. Let me show you right now. So even something like this, just a low wall, and then having plants above and then plants in front of it. This is, actually I'm at the nursery, so this is not the best idea to show you, but I think you get the idea of what I'm saying. So when I think of California, I think of tropical. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's wrong. But I also had an idea, because you have a pool, why not do a water feature in that corner? I can see it. I can visualize it. I think it would be absolutely stunning. Let me show you the type that I'm talking about. They actually have one here at the nursery. So I'm going to take you over and show you sort of what it is that I'm talking about. Okay, something like this, like a tiered waterfall, but high. This one goes all the way up. I know this is great and big and lofty, but you asked for suggestions and here you have it. So you could do some plantings around your water feature. Let me walk over here and show you the other level. Okay, so you can kind of see how it winds around and then has a big pool in the bottom. I don't know if this is something you could do in your area. They also have lights in here that at night it lights it up, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I thought it would be a really cool idea to show you some plants that I think would be a great idea and then talk through them. And so I'm gonna go walk around and I'm gonna show you some inspiration and some ideas. Okay, so again, we are going to remember that I am in zone 7B and you are in zone 9B. And so the plant selection is a little different. But let's look at our first plant, which is a camellia. Camellias are very versatile. They do well in the full sun. They do well in the full shade. This is the type plant that I feel like it could be your focal point. This could be a backdrop. This could serve so many purposes, but a camellia was my first stop. What do you think? I also love the idea of this chartreuse color against your fence and under that shade of the tree. I feel like would be a fantastic look and pop. I don't know if you can do spirea in your area, but spirea are a great option. Here is my next suggestion. This is a Laura Pedalum. I would highly recommend this against your fence and then put with the kaleidoscope abelia. But look at the color combination. Do you see how the purple plum color and the chartreuse color pop? This, when you walk out your door and are looking across your pool, would be amazing. So, love that idea. Have you thought about a Japanese maple? There are many different kinds. There are weeping lace leaf. There are your regular red rubrum. There are some, let me show you some over here. Here are some other options. This is a lace leaf Japanese maple. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Again, this bright green, this might be a better option to pop against your fence. And you could get a weeping variety so it's not growing up into your tree. But I love the lime color of these leaves. And this is a fern leaf full moon maple. Gorgeous. So I don't know if Japanese maples do well in your area, but let me look. See, I know you are zone 9B. 5 to 8. So maybe there are some Japanese maples that do well. I love this red bark maple. Gorgeous. Again, that pop of color. This color is great when you are looking to brighten up a corner. They put on a show all their own. So I don't know if there's a Japanese maple that would do well in your area, but if there is, that would be my recommendation for you. So an option for a ground cover would be this Persian shield. Again, not sure about in your area, but here it takes off and is gorgeous. And it spreads nicely. So here's an option for a ground cover or a planting is a subshrub in front of whatever you plant. But love that color, and it looks really nice against a bright pop of green, like you can see. So that's an option. Something else I was thinking of, I know you have ferns, I've noticed in some of your videos. The Kimberly Queen fern really put on a show and are nice in front as a border. They stand up really tall, so that would be a good option, or a Boston fern. See how that sort of just creates a nice planting, and the colors are bright. As you can see, I'm trying to brighten up that corner by adding some contrasting greens and plums. Just my idea, but just my opinion as well. You could also go with a Carax or a Liriope. Not sure how those do as well. I am home now. I wanted to get away from the noises of the garden center. Although it is great, it's not great for making a video. And so I wanted to recap a couple of things that we talked about and bring everything home so that I can send it back over to you. What I want us to first think about is the tree, the canopy. The roots are as wide as the canopy. So do you have surface roots? Could you get away with a retaining wall? A multi-level planting is always nice for the eye. I'm not talking about a big retaining wall, maybe a foot to a foot and a half tall. You could do a couple of different level layers of plants. I know you mentioned maybe even doing some vegetables and herbs over in that area, and I don't see why you couldn't incorporate that into what we're doing anyway. Just an idea. Some food for thought. When I look at that corner, I think, we really want to make it pop, whatever it is, because that's a focal point from where you're sitting under your pergola with your couches. When you're in the pool, that area draws your eye. And while you have a seating area there, you said it really wasn't necessary. So I think either doing a multi-level planting with some colors that are bright and vibrant. I really love the plum color and the chartreuse color, whites and hot pinks. They draw your eye in. And so that's a good look for that corner. Also, the idea of doing a water feature, I know that's a little exuberant, but it's okay. You can think big, that's something that I could picture being really beautiful, not only visually, but by, the sounds that the water feature would make. So that's an idea. Another idea would be to really think about having the type plant that could handle both sun and shade. It's not ideal to do something like that. So a point that I wanted to bring to you would be to, find plants and plant in groupings for the sunlight requirements. And what I mean by that is in the area that's shaded most of the day, where it's the longer side of the fence, make that its own planting. Then the area that is shade and then has the hot sun in the afternoon, have that be a planting. But as you're thinking through picking out the plants, find the similarities. Find something that has similar leaves, or the similar color of the leaves, or the similar bloom. The camellia is one that I really thought would be versatile. The loropetalum is another one. It may not grow as big, but that's an option. If you don't want to do that and you want to have something that is going to be, there's a car going backwards. I'm sitting in the car rider line, so sorry about that. Anyway, so you could have similar plants with the similar leaf structure, similar leaf color, similar bloom, and sort of create, when you think of designing outdoors, a lot of times you hear the word using rooms, creating outdoor rooms and spaces. And so you may have a vegetable room. You may have a seated, comfy, cozy room. You may have a cottage room. So you could create two different spaces, but have something that ties them together in similar color patterns and palettes. And so I hope that is helpful for you. And I would love, if you want to do a part 2 to this and you want to give me your response back, I would love to answer, and go more in depth with this. And see what you think about that. So anyway, thank you again so much for asking my opinion. Thank you for reaching out. And I look forward to seeing what comes out of this and being along for the ride with you. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a fantastic day, my friend. Bye.